Hey folks, Brent here with Ottomatik. In this video, I'm going to walk through how to set up Ottomatik and connect your DigitalOcean hosted databases. So what Ottomatik does is provide hourly, weekly, monthly, and daily backups for your databases, which is a pretty comprehensive recovery plan. So you can also use Ottomatik to restore your databases. You'll get dumped into this screen by default. This is our parachute flow, but you can get here by clicking create a new job. So what this does is starts you with choosing what type of backup. And so we're going to start with Postgres. The next option is to run this serverless, which is what I'm going to opt for. So what serverless means is you don't have to set up a server. Normally Ottomatik can do all this sweet SSHing into your own infrastructure. You get a lot of control that way with network control, security. Our serverless offering allows you to just spin up an ephemeral container. It's essentially a Docker container that's running. It runs once for each instance and then is destroyed. And that way it can just pull the backup data, send it to a bucket, and you'd be done with it. It's a lot easier to set up. You can also use our hosted storage, which is just an S3 bucket. You can connect your own storage as well. So I'm going to say connect to a DigitalOcean database. I'm going to log in with DO and get dropped back to our selection page. So then I can choose my Postgres database, which is running Postgres 14. And here I can say my default DB, DO. And so I'm going to select hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly by default. I'll run the first backup now. Now, one important detail on DigitalOcean is don't back up all the databases on the server. So unfortunately, DigitalOcean on a hosted instance, there are a couple of other like template 0, template 1 that you may not be able to access from the outside. So this is something that's unfortunately configured through like the Postgres config, like the PGHPA conf file, where the users that you have in DigitalOcean can't technically connect to that. So I would choose just the database that you want to back up. So in this case, it's the default DB and hit finalize setup, which will run the job now. So quick run through Parachute. So you can see the hourly jobs running, daily, weekly, and monthly are also queued up. You can also click this backup on demand. But behind the scenes, like what's actually going on? So if you click on jobs, you can actually see we just created 4 jobs, which also can be customized and modified. So you're not stuck with the out of the box configuration if you don't want it. Just a quick run through. So daily runs every day at 12:15 and then keeps 7 copies. So we will rotate the backup so you're not storing unnecessary items. And as you might have guessed it, if we run an hourly, you'll get 24 copies of that. So running the hour instance every hour. And then once it becomes redundant, it's captured in that daily backup. And as you might have guessed it, the weeklies, we keep those for 5 instances by default. And then the monthlies, as you might have guessed it, will be 12. So this is a pretty comprehensive set of backups that you receive. And then on top of this, you can also do cool stuff like restoring data. So if you had a different database, which I'll cover in another video, is like how to take data, let's say from production, let's say, and then you want to send it to one of your staging databases in order to reproduce an issue. This is a great way to do that without having to pull the file down or however you might be doing it currently. So as you can see, the backup came through. It's stored on our bucket. You can pull it down. It's not huge. So, but as I mentioned, you have this restorability, you have a shareability, and then also we have a bunch of cool features, which are webhooks. You can kind of do these on demand by, building your own automation. So anyways, that's the quick and dirty how to get started with DigitalOcean hosted databases on Ottomatik.